about it. We have been browbeaten as a people, as Americans, as Westerners for our entire lives. And do you know what this has done? It has taken away any sense of pride, any sense of love for our own civilization. We have been made the villain in our own story.
That was Nick Fuentes absolutely going off on Piers Morgan, because Piers has this weird belief that for some reason white people should just be subservient to everyone else, that we are the bad guy, that we're the villain in our own story. And that's what Nick is calling out. Seems to be the common belief worldwide, that somehow we are bad people simply because of the color of our skin. And is that not inherently racist? How are we called racist, yet we get told these things and everyone says, oh no, that's not racist, that's normal. This is what you're supposed to believe. I think that's absolute blasphemy. I think that Nick believes that's blasphemy, and that's the whole point of this clip. He's going off on Piers Morgan all over him because that is such bullcrap that we're getting fed. We're going to be diving into these clips, but I'm Jared Wright. This is the Right Wing. I bring you clips like this every single day. So hit the buttons down below, hit the like, hit the subscribe. If you want to see what's happening in the world, if you want to see what are people saying, what's going on, you deserve to know these things. I'm bringing them to you all the time, every single day. But let's just go ahead and dive into this clip right now.
I'll tell you about it. We have been browbeaten as a people, as Americans, as Westerners for our entire lives. And do you know what this has done? It has taken away any sense of pride, any sense of love for our own civilization. We have been made the villain in our own story. We have been made because, well, let's just be clear. It doesn't begin and end with Hitler is a monster. This has been the political narrative, which is why we have thrown open the borders. This is a political narrative, which is why we can't be a conservative society as a whole anymore, why we can't be proud of Europeans, why we can't be proud of being Christian, because they've told us if you're too white and too proud and too Christian, it's going to lead to a Holocaust. And so my generation, our entire lives,
honestly,
Nick, it's true, and that's why people like me. That's why I'm popular, because this is bullshit.
He says, what the crock of. Piers Morgan is so pissed off at this but it's the truth. Everyone says, oh, if you're white and you're Christian and you want other people to be Christian, well, you must be some sort of hateful individual. I've received so much hate for this, for just saying that I'm a Christian nationalist. I love God. I love this country. I put the two together. That's what I push for. And they said that you can't be both. And I think that is a crocker. You know, I think that's what the real crock of crap is. But people like Piers, they don't believe this. And the whole time, Piers tries to play this, oh, well, I'm a Catholic role. While at the same time, he's not acting like a good Christian man, honestly. And so I don't really believe him when he says that. And it's not my role to judge it, but Nick is making the point that, yes, you know what? He said this throughout the whole interview. If the Holocaust happened, assuming it did, that's terrible. We don't stand with genocide in any capacity. It's not a good thing. But that doesn't mean that fast forward 80 years later, every single white person is bad. That's bullcrap. We can be white and be proud to be white. We can be Christian and be proud to be Christian. And it is not an issue. It's okay. It's a good thing. We built civilizations. That's what we've done throughout history. And that's what Nick is saying. And man, that got Piers all fired up right there.
Yeah, it's a crock. We don't want to hear any more about me mom and me dad. That's a crock of shit.
No, listen. What you just said is a crock of shit. And you know
true.
It.
It's called the open society.
In your gut, you know it is. You weaponize this stuff.
You know.
You weaponize this stuff for money, but you know when you say something like what you just said.
I'm banned from banking. I'm banned from banking and credit cards. You know who you're talking to? Yeah, I do it for money. And by the way, how much money you make? Your company's worth $100 million. Your company's worth $100 million. I was banned from Bank of America.
And you shouldn't
I'm banned from processing credit cards.
And you shouldn't have been.
But I am. So don't tell me I'm doing it for money.
Well, ask me my opinion about that. I'll tell you shouldn't have been. Right? I don't agree with that. What happened to you?
Then don't say I'm doing it for money, because you know that full well, and you say it's a grift.
How much money
if I wanted to be a grifter, I'd be like you, and I would go and say,
how much money are you making?
I'm making a lot of money now.
Yeah.
Now that I'm the #1 live streamer in America, because people agree with me more than they agree with you. We're tired of hearing about slavery and the Holocaust and Jim Crow. We're done hearing about that. You guys
I'm not
overplayed your
done
hand.
hearing about that.
Okay, well, your generation's on the way out, and Generation Z is coming up, and we're finished with that. We're ready to take.
Nick said what we're all thinking. We're done with this load of crap, this bull crap, where we are being absolutely, he said, browbeaten. We are getting just beat over the head. Oh, your people did this. Your people did this. You suck. There's this whole movement that we should be paying reparations to black people because hundreds of years ago, potentially our ancestors, maybe not even our ancestors, might have owned slaves. What in the, I mean, why do we have to pay reparations for that? And that seems like the stance that Piers would take. Oh yeah, you should. You should. Because Nick says, we're tired of hearing about the Jim Crow. We're tired of hearing about slavery. We're trying to move on as a civilization and get to a point where we're all good. And if we just keep going back into history and saying, well, look what your people did, that's a crock up. That's what it is. It's so ridiculous and it's so overdone and it's so overplayed. This whole, well, white people are bad narrative. That's what Nick is trying to hammer into Piers. And Piers is saying, well, you're in it for money. You da da da. And Nick goes off on him. He says, I'm in it for money. He says, I don't even have credit. I can't process credit cards. I didn't have a bank account. How can I be in it for money? I did this broke essentially. And now he makes money. Because now he's the most mainstream podcaster. He has the most mainstream show in the world. He's #1. Any given weeknight at midnight, you have 50,000 people watching him live. People love his voice. And that's what he's telling him. He's like, look, Piers, you can believe whatever you want. You can believe whatever you think about history. But when it comes to what the people think, they're on my side. They're on the side of, no, you know what? We want to move forward as a civilization and move past this weird, like, just beating you with the whip because you're white thing. And that's what Piers wants, it seems like. He wants white people to just, like, bend over. That's not what we're going to do. This generation is not doing that. We're saying, you know what? No, we're moving forward as a civilization. We're moving towards the future, which is, you know what? Everybody's got a clean slate. That's how I view it. I don't care what skin color you are. I don't care who you are. You got a clean slate. If you act like a good person, you act civilized, you don't do dumb crap, I'm probably going to be okay with you. That's the fact of the matter. And that's literally got to be the view of, like, what, 90% of America? So Piers is so outdated. Nick just goes after him right here. But this is the right wing. I'm Jared Wright. Like I said before, go hit those buttons, please. Hit all the buttons so you know when I'm posting, so I can bring you more content, because you deserve to know all the things that are being said. You deserve to know that people like Piers want us white folk to just be, beaten. Pow, pow. You suck. That's what Piers wants. You deserve to know that. You deserve to see, okay, what are these people saying about us? And that's why I try to make it easy for you on this content. So I hope y'all have a great day.